Hello world, Shelly here, and today we're going to do a little get ready with me, a life update. We're going to see if I can do a good amount of my makeup with this mini palette from Chica Beauty. This is the Get It Chica Chiquita blush and eyeshadow palette, courtesy of my October IPSY bag. This is the Glam Bag. Their theme for this month is Work Your Magic. And oh, you know I love spooky season and I love all the witchy things. Look at this glam bag. I'm in love. Look at the little zipper pull. It is so cute. Loving it, loving it, loving it. Thank you, IPSY, for sending me these in PR. This is not sponsored. I'm not paid to do this, but if you do join IPSY through my link, you do get, I get a discount, not a discount. I get a small commission. You know how all this works. Not sponsored, not sponsored, but thank you, IPSY, for sending me selections of the glam bag free of charge, in PR, part of their creator program. Let's make some content, shall we? The Glam Bag is $14 a month. You get 5 deluxe sample size products, of which you get to pick one of them. And if you are already an IPSY member, you can choose your one product between October 27th and 29th. So if you're watching this when it drops, get your choice in by Wednesday to pick next month's product. Here's what came in the bag that I'm not going to demo today. The Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Moisture Barrier Cleanser. That sounds like all the things I like. And I'm a fan of Glow Recipe, so I'm going to enjoy that. But the rest of the stuff in here we're going to use. I think I'll use this at the end from e.l.f. I'm not familiar with this one. The Power Grip Dewy Setting Spray. Looks like it's a biphase, so we got some oil separation up there that we're gonna shake up, and I think we're gonna use that. I've also got a brush here. Ooh, very nice ombre. This is from Lovecraft Beauty. Let's fluff it up here. Look at this pretty, you know, I am out of control when it comes to brushes. I think I will use that for my blush. Then we have a lip scrub mask combo. This packaging is genius. If I could find this packaging, I would totally make this product in my version, of course. Real Her Confident Glow, it's called. Check this out. Look at this packaging. So you've got the sugar scrub jar at the top. And then you've got the lip mask jar at the bottom. They're connected. You won't lose them. That's so handy. That's so lovely. I think we should use it right now. I got some in the lid, so I'm just going to take that and use what's in the lid here. Sugar scrub is one of my favorite things. It helps. I get flaky lips, so it helps to remove the dead skin. Now, normally I do a combination of lick and wipe, so it is tasty. Now, I don't wipe it off. I wipe the sugar off, but so this formula doesn't have a ton of oil in it. The lip scrub that I make has more oil content because I like to leave behind that sort of, I'm going to use the word residue, which sounds bad, but it actually leaves behind the moisture of the oil, which when you have really dry lips can help. This one has a little bit of that, which I do like. That's obviously I like it because I make mine that way. Not as much as the one I make, but similar. Tasty. Let's try the lip mask because I'm sure it will be soaked into my lips by the time I'm ready to actually put a lip product on, because that's how dry my lips are. So dry. This consistency is thinner, I would say, than the typical Laneige mask. Although I guess I could have scooped it out with a hard fingernail or a scooper to get more if I wanted. It's gonna be good for now. This packaging's genius. I'm absolutely in love with this packaging. Genius, Real Her. Good job on that. I'm a fan of this. This is good. I like it. All right, let's see if I can do a face with this. Now, my one thought is that I don't really have bronzer, and I would like to have bronzer. And I wonder, though, if I can use the eyeshadow here. Let's try. Let's just, I don't know if that brush is going to be too Let's get I have a Wayne Goss brush that I like to use for bronzer. It's a fan brush. I think it was meant for highlight, but I use it for bronzer. I'm going to try to use that little eyeshadow. Yeah, it's kind of working. It's getting me. It's not quite dark enough, but I feel like the dark one's probably too dark. Oh, let's just dip into it. Oh, this might work, actually. I'm thinking, you know, something you could like keep in your purse as emergency makeup, or something that maybe if you are traveling and you need to travel super light, that it could be really handy to have this sort of multi-purpose and quite small bit of makeup. I got a little bit too much there. That's all right. We'll be fine. A little too much of the dark shade. But the dark shade does have a little bit of a red undertone to it, I think, and that bodes well for fair skin. So we'll try and fix this when I do the blush. That actually worked better than I anticipated. So I don't think this was meant for that. Like, I don't think they named it blush and eyeshadow, so they were intending blush and eyeshadow, but I think this is gonna work fine for bronzer too. All right, let's get the Lovecraft, oh, I'm messing it up. No, I'm not. Lovecraft Beauty brush. It's so cute. And orange for Halloween. Love it. Let's dip into the blush here. Oh, it does look like it's gonna have, oh, not as much. I thought it was gonna be more pigmented by what it looked like on the brush. But it's pretty light. I'm gonna dip in a little more. Which is funny, because you know I'm not crazy about super dark blush. This is not very pigmented at all. Very light flush of pink. You know, side to side. Light flush. Light, light, light. I think I think I need a little more pigment than this for my blush. But we're going to keep going, because that's the goal here. That's the goal. See how much of our makeup we can do with this little palette. I will say that for sure this would be fine as my emergency purse makeup, you know? I'm gonna do a little on my nose here. It would work just fine for that purpose. And this is blending out nicely. Like, no harsh lines, and even the eyeshadow blended out okay as bronzer, I think. So there's that. All right, I'm pleased enough so far. We're gonna go back to it for eyeshadow, but I need my MAC paint pot in Painterly, because this is my preferred primer. The new Morphe one is actually pretty good, but it has not won me over from the MAC paint pot. The MAC paint pot, I just like the consistency is a little bit more emollient, which is ironic because it doesn't move around at all. But I just like that slightly, wetter's not the right word, but like a little bit smoother, it's more lubricated. Like, it's got more of a slip to it, and I like how that feels. And it's a little bit more coverage. I do have some purple lines that go through my eyes, blood vessels, that I don't like to see. So, I'm really liking this mask. It feels so nice. All right, let's start. Let's do some eye look real quick. I need my Wayne Goss number 3, but I don't think you can get this one anymore. I'm going to go in with, so this is a pretty standard eyeshadow layout, and it's got everything I want in an eyeshadow palette. I want a highlight shade. I want a crease transition. I want a darker shade for the crease and outer corner, and I want 2 shimmers, a lighter one and a darker one. I do wish this was just a smidge darker, but they've covered all my bases. I'm pleased with that curation. I want 5 colors in my eyeshadows. I'm sorry, that is just who I am. Actually, you could use the blush too, and I might do a little bit of that. Okay, I'm gonna go off script. We're gonna use the blush as crease transition. Then we're gonna use lighter brownish shade as crease and darken it just a little bit. We're going to use this whole thing on the eyes. That's what we're going to do. This blush shade is really, really stiffly pressed, and so you don't get a ton of product on the brush, and I think that's why we're not getting a ton of pigment, because I'm just not able to pick up a lot of product. Maybe I just need to break it in, you know? But yeah, that's nice, that's nice. I like that. I'm glad I'm going this route. I am pleased. Your girl is happy. Yeah, you gotta dip in a bunch to build this up, though, because it does not have a ton of pigmentation. I will say, though, that makes it a little easier, especially if you're new, because it's way easier to build up coverage than it is to take it off if you went too hard, you know, if you went too far on the coverage in the first place. Wow, I need to pluck my eyebrows. Sorry about that, y'all. I've been busy. I've been stressed. I had the ribbon cutting of my new retail shop this weekend. It was amazing. It went really well. Thank you to everyone that has messaged, even came to the ribbon cutting, sent kind messages, comments, supported me in any which way. Thank you to my patrons on Patreon. Thank you to everyone that comments here and shares my videos, and the likes and the follows and the social media, all of it. Just, I love you guys. Thank you so much. The shop is going to be open this weekend. I was open. I'll be open next weekend for Halloween. Then it'll be closed for a little while. Not closed online. Online will be open all the time. I'm still working at the shop. It's just that the retail storefront, the local, if you're in Virginia and you're coming to my store, will be closed until after the holidays, because I have all my fall vendor events already paid and lined up. I book them a year in advance, so I didn't know this was all going to happen, and I don't want to lose all those deposits. That's a couple $1,000. So anyway, back to the eyeshadow. But thank you all. I appreciate you so much. You might see I've been posting on YouTube Shorts videos when I'm packing up orders. I'm just trying to find ways to stay interacting with you guys, because I know I missed this past week's videos because I was so busy getting ready for the shop opening. So I know I'm going to miss long form videos here and there. So I just want to keep in touch with you guys, because I'm still doing all the things and I want to interact with you. And but I won't always be able to get these long form videos up and posted. I might be having to cut back to 2 a week, or even 1 a week. I'm going to stick with 2 a week. I'm going to try. This week, I hope you get 3. I think I'm aiming for 3 this week. But anyway, so many tangents. When I say life update, that just means my brain wants to just spew tangents at you. Because, anyway, let's try this again. Back to the eyeshadow. All right, so now I'm going to do that lighter brown. And this is my Sigma E25 brush that I like for my crease. Let's do this as crease. I know I'm going to have to darken it a little bit because this is not quite dark enough. I guess if you were doing like a no makeup, it would be dark enough. I'm going to say right now that the curation of the tone between that blush and this brown shade is excellent. Sometimes you can't just throw any pink and any brown together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can, but it's going to be a much more satisfying combo when you've curated the undertones. And this is not the easiest thing to do, I will say. So any brand that does either got really lucky, which is not likely, or they paid attention to undertones when they were choosing what shades to put in this palette. So I'm going to say it's probably the latter. And bravo Chica Beauty, because these two pair beautifully together. That's a perfect brown for the shade of pink that we got going on. And actually, I don't even think we do need to deepen it too much. That's pretty good as it is. I'm just going to go one boop, like boop. Outer corner and just into the very outer part of my crease. Yeah, we don't need much at all deepening here. This is pretty nice. Bravo. You know, something that looks so simple is never as simple as it looks. That's why I don't make eyeshadow. I don't know if I ever will because of that. All right, this is my Smith 253 brush. Going into that darkest shade for a little outer corner action. Yeah, it does have a little bit of a red undertone. That's a perfect brown for this, I was going to say for this channel, for this palette. Ooh, you could even do this over your whole lid. It's dark enough to be outer corner, but it's light enough to be like a red-brown smoky eye. Oh, I can see that happening. That would be amazing. It's too bad I got no place to go today, except for going to the shop to make some lotion. I like that shade. These colors are great. You know, something at face value, I would not have thought that I was going to be like, whoa, but I am. I'm cleaning my brush off in my little color switch. I'm going to start with that darker shimmer in the outer corner. It's not really, it's only slightly darker. We've got goldish. It's like an olive gold, I think. Let's see. Yep. Oh, that's pretty. And we've got a pink. Now, I suspect they might have intended just one of these to be used at a time, but I'm going to try them both. Because another sign of good color curation is when all the colors can really work together if you want them to. So let's go into the pink. Looks like it's got a little bit of a gold reflect to it. Yes. Yeah, they did a really good job on the color curation. This pink is also given the vibe of, I bet if I applied this with a wet fingertip, we would get a super foil look, because it's looking pretty nicely foiled just with dry application in the brush. It is a slightly different consistency than that goldish color, which I like, because again, options, and mixing textures is a way to get an interesting look in addition to just mixing colors. Yeah, this would definitely foil out nicely. I can totally tell because it's foiling out even with just the brush. Yeah, yeah. These are shockingly good. I'm not familiar with this brand, so I'm not saying shockingly because I wouldn't expect it from the brand. I'm saying shockingly because this is such an unassuming looking palette that is performing incredibly nicely. And I just don't usually think of getting such performance out of like basic cute little palettes. But here we are. Okay, I gotta pluck this eyebrow. This eyebrow is, this piece of hair is just like screaming at me. All right, we gotta get this one too. All right, well, you're just gonna watch me pluck my eyebrows a little bit here, because once you start, you just can't stop. Gotta catch them all, right? All right, that's enough. That's enough of that. All right, now we need the highlight shade. The only Jaclyn Hill brush I ever bought is her highlight brush, and I love it. We're going to go into that lightest shade. We're going to get the inner corner here. Now, it is a matte, and I typically prefer a shimmer for my inner corner highlight, but this will work fine for now, especially if it's like your emergency or your travel or your super fast no makeup palette. But I prefer a matte for my brow bone. I will use a shimmer if I have to. I'm not opposed to a shimmer brow bone highlight. You actually know that I love a banging brow bone highlight, but usually for the everyday, I just go matte. Again, this shade is also very hard pressed, and I'm having to kind of dig in to get it to come up on the brush. I think that would be my only complaint in using this palette, is that these shades are super hard. The mattes are very hard pressed, and that can make it difficult to pick product up on the brush. You have to build it up and build it up and build it up, and I don't always have that kind of patience, right? But I pretty much did my whole face with this palette, and I'm pretty pleased. Now, of course, we need to add a little bit of tightline. It's my L'Oreal Infallible pencil. This is the one I've been using lately. Even though I did buy a new Urban Decay 24/7 waterline, I haven't used it yet. because this one is just super soft and easy to apply. It stays put for most of the day. It'll be worn off by the end of the day, but all of them really are on me. So gonna curl my lashes here. I've really been enjoying the Ricky Loves Ricky heated eyelash curler, but I use it after I've done my main curl because it doesn't curl super tightly. It basically will lock in your curl with the heat once you've got them curled. Maybe if your lashes are not as thick or unruly as mine are. Mine like to stick straight out from my face. So right now I'm waiting for it to heat up. It is that purple's going to turn pink when it is ready to go. They say to use it after you've put your mascara on already, but that just makes it really messy. And I can wipe it off a bit when it's still hot, but it's just messier than I like, and I don't feel like it's doing anything different. So I use it on my bare lashes and then put my mascara on. All right, we're pink. We are ready to go. So now I use the middle heat setting, and I just kind of hold it for 10 seconds or so. You don't want to pull it off without pressing the button because you don't want to like tug on your lashes. So hold that button down to release. And then I go to the front lashes and get them. I find that it's not really hot against my eye. The hottest setting is a little bit warm. You don't want to pinch your skin with it on the hottest setting because when I did kind of get my eyelid in there once, it did feel pretty hot. It didn't burn me, but it felt like it could burn. Like, I didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want it to be there any longer than it was, if that makes any sense. So try not to catch your skin in there, but resting it against my eyelid, it doesn't burn. It just feels warm. But I prefer the middle setting just in case, and it seems to do plenty. I don't think it curls my lashes any more than they already were curled, but it holds the curl longer for sure. So I'm sure if your lashes are not as unruly as mine, it'll work even more dramatically. But I do find that it keeps the curl longer than otherwise. We're going to go in with Polite Society mascara here. This is probably my favorite mascara right now. I'm just going to say it. I have several favorites I rotate between. This and What's Up Beauty and Lawless One and Done. But lately, I'm in my second tube of this, and I've really been enjoying the Polite Society mascara. It's just pretty reliable. Like, it always looks good on me. Even when my lashes, you know how like once every 8 weeks or so I feel like my lashes just shed and go crazy and they get thin and weird and just uneven? Well, this looks good even then. And that's a measure of a good mascara to me. My other favorites do too, but this one's super reliable, and I've been liking it. I've been liking it a lot. So now we need a little brow. I'm still using my Refi, but it's still occasionally turning white on me, and I think it just, I have to equate it to a mascara that gets air in the tube. Now with mascara, when it gets air in the tube, it usually seems to perform better for me, but this product, now that it's had lots of uses, exposure to air, I feel like it's making the product turn white on me. So like I just bent my spoolie over to use the clean side of it just to make sure. And hopefully by the end of the day it will not turn white. But it has been doing that to me lately, which really bums me out because this was my new favorite brow gel, but I haven't had it long enough for me to be okay with it not being usable at this point. I think that's all the makeup. I do need to put something on my lips over my mask. Let's do, What's Up Beauty has a new lip gloss. It is called, you know, I still can't find Sherlock. Meaning I can't read what shade it is. I will put it down below because I can't see. Let's get some gloss on here. It's so pretty. Kind of vanilla-y. Thank you, What's Up Beauty. They sent me this in PR. I'm loving it. All right, let's get these bangs to not be so cray. I've been brushing my bangs out of my forehead lately. Okay, I'm gonna ask you guys something about my hair. I'm not gonna grow it any longer that way. You know, I've just been growing out my layers, right? Because remember, I used to shave the whole underside. It grew back pretty fast though. Well, here's what I'm thinking. I've been parting it in the middle lately, which I go back and forth between the middle and the side. I've been parting it in the middle lately, and I've been having this craving to do like curtain bangs just a little bit, that sort of to keep them off my face. And then remember when we used to do feathered bangs, not a full 80s feather, but like, you know, curtain bangs like the 70s vibe. I've been thinking about that. What do you think? Should I do that, or am I going to regret cutting off everything I just grew out? Not everything, just a little more longer curtain bangs that brush back. You know what I'm saying? What do you think? What do you think? Anyway, all right. Here's the finished look. What do you think? Haha. I like it. I'm really impressed with this palette. Should we do the e.l.f. setting spray? Let's shake it up. Oh, I gotta get the wrapper off of here. What do you think of this look? I am shockingly impressed with this mini multi-palette. I was just thinking I would just do a quick little makeup look, but this quick little makeup look, wow, how many stickers do you need, e.l.f.? Although I appreciate the stickers. I've just started going through my store to add neck bands, shrink wrap neck bands on everything, because goodness gracious, the number of people, even when I have testers set out of everything, every product has a tester out, but they still open the saleable product to smell it or whatever. Like, and I know they do it in stores too, like in drugstores and whatnot, but like, please use the testers. Don't open a brand new product. Like, just ew. Anyway, all right, let's now this is, what did it say? Shockingly fine mist. All right, let me get it primed over here. Oh. Oh. Oh my. This is the best mister I've ever used in my life. That's awesome. It is shockingly fine mist. Wow. Oh, I like that. I might use setting spray more if that's how it's gonna be. Of course, I did it when I have a speck of eyeshadow on my nose. Oh, girl, we are messing up. We are messing it up. Get that speck of eyeshadow off of here. Oh my goodness. Wow. Okay. That was awesome. All right, so that's the finished look. That is a dewy setting spray. I can tell the difference. I do feel like I have a dewy finish now. That's lovely. Thank you, IPSY, for sending me the glam bag. Thank you, Chica Beauty, because this is fantastic. I'm here for it. Thank you, Real Her, for making this genius packaging scrub and balm. This is a very, very happy glam bag today. I'm pleased. I'm pleased. I'm going to go over to my shop/lab and make some lotion. I'm thinking about making discovery bundles, like smaller size products where you can pick a bunch of different scents and mix and match to try things out. What do you think? Should I do that? Let me know. Let me know in the comments down below. As always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.